Hey everybody! Today's little nugget of inspiration comes from James Clear. He's an author who wrote the book Atomic Habits, and it's a book that I'm reading right now. And it's got a little section in there that talks about 1% improvements and about how we think that we need to be making these big leaps and bounds in the process and the progress that we make. And how, just everybody, no matter what you're doing, gets frustrated when we don't see the improvements every day that we're working on something. And he has a couple of stories about this. One is the British cycling team was notoriously horrible for decades, so much so that a bicycle manufacturer didn't want to sell them bicycles because they didn't want to be associated with the British team. They were that bad. They didn't want, to be seen. They didn't want the British to be riding their bikes and have that seen. And they got a new coach, and the coach was all about these 1% improvements, these little micro improvements that everybody else ignored. But he believed that if you keep on adding up these 1% improvements, that eventually you get to, you can add those up and get to significant improvements and have advantages that other people wouldn't have. And he also uses the metaphor of ice freezing, or ice melting rather, and that if ice melts at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius, and that if you're making little 1 degree improvements, you might not see anything happening, right? Like if it's ice melts at 32 degrees Fahrenheit and you're at, 20 degrees and you're going from 20 to 21, nothing happens. 21, 22, nothing happens. 23, 24, 25, you're all the way there and you're thinking nothing is happening until you get to that point, 32 degrees, and the ice melts, and you're like, oh, like it seems like magic, but really it's all those degrees that you had to go through to get to 32 before anything happened. And so we need to remember that as long as we're making progress, as long as we're moving forward, that we're going to get, these things are adding up. It's all accumulative. All right? So just remember that and keep moving forward.